Hey y'all, today I am driving the Ford Mustang Mach E Rally GT, and I want to talk about some of the things that I don't like on this vehicle, and I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot. First up, yeah, you know what, we're just going to go straight for the wireless charging, because even though this didn't heat up my phone to the extent that it powered down the system, powered down my phone, it did overheat my phone so that it stopped charging. So when you're taking a 3-hour road trip and you're using your phone for navigation or, you know, for Apple CarPlay or whatever, the last thing you want to do is lose charge. So I guess what I would say is, if you were going to have your phone in this tray for more than an hour, you should just use the plugs to charge if you need it. Now, the other thing that I will say that I don't completely love about this vehicle, but I don't hate it, is going to be the range. As you can see, we have about 84% of a charge right now, and we only have 178 miles of range. At my max with this vehicle, I think I was probably at about 250 miles of range at 100%. And what that means is, especially when it's cold and snowing outside, you're gonna lose range more quickly, which means you're not going to have 250 miles of range. I did drive to Indianapolis, which is about 196 miles, and I made it without stopping to charge, but I had to drive 65 miles an hour and, really be gentle on my throttles. Now, I'm not going to say this is necessarily a do not like for me, but I am going to point out that pretty much everything, all of your controls are through this screen right here. So you've got your climate controls here, and yeah, you're going to be doing that, and you can, once you start tapping, it will allow you to then do your controls through that, but then it quickly switches back to volume. So, you're going to have to be thoughtful with how you're using this, because if you start to do this and then you pause for a second and it switches back to volume, you could blow out somebody's ears. And then you have, obviously, your different navigation phone, your different controls through here, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both wireless. I miss physical buttons. I'm glad they give you a knob for your climate controls and your volume, but I do miss physical controls, especially when my hands are cold. I find sometimes I have to give things a little bit of a double tap because it doesn't always want to read my fingers. And I will make this my personal and finally, I'm just not a huge fan of dial shifters. I mean, this is certainly better than push button gearing, which I'm not really a fan of either, but I really like an actual shift lever. But this is what we have, and Ford seems to like these dial things, but I'm just not a fan.